Welcome back to Swiss Watch Expo. This is Angel, and this week we're taking a look at my 3 top picks for concentric dials. Stick around. Welcome back to Swiss Watch Expo. Every week we take a look at my 3 top picks in a certain category, and this week we're taking a look at my 3 picks for concentric dial watches. So concentric has to do with this beautiful circular pattern that goes around the dial, whether it's on the inside or the outer edges of the dial. And I've picked all 3 watches today to be 2 Rolexes and 1 Cartier. So let's get right into it. So first up, let's start with this absolutely gorgeous Air-King. Now, if you take a close look, you'll see the concentric pattern around the center of the dial. And the reason this is one of my favorites is for a couple things. Not only is it an Air-King, which is a very classic and well-known timepiece from the Rolex collection. This one is 34 millimeters. But I love the combination of navy and orange. But in addition to that, I really like the fact that they put the certified chronometer insignia in a circular pattern on the dial to mimic that concentric configuration. Typically, you'll see that written as 2 to 4 lines on the dial, usually at the bottom portion of the dial. But I think that's a very unique feature that maybe somewhere along the line in the history of the watch going forward to help build provenance will add a little to it. Another thing I really love about this concentric dial watch is how they have the 6 on the bottom side. It reminds me of the Daytona with what they call the inverted 6, which if you are a collector, you know that that inverted 6 was corrected on the Daytona and turned on its correct side. So it added that much more rarity and special feel to the watch. So you'll have that similar detail here at the 6 o'clock position on this gorgeous Air-King. So next up, we will jump into another Rolex, and I have this beautiful Everose Day-Date II. Now, I love the contrast of the black Roman numerals, and the concentric configuration is positioned right behind those Roman numerals. Now, this is a very special watch because if you're a collector or if you follow watches any, you'll know that the Day-Date II is a 41 millimeter that is no longer available in the Rolex collection. They scaled it back just a bit to 40 millimeters for the Day-Date if you want a larger size. This is perfect for that gentleman that loves the Sky Dweller or the Cameron Deep Sea, and they like a substantial watch and they want a president, but they don't want your traditional 36 millimeter. This is a very weighty watch and just a gorgeous configuration that I think really lends itself to a lot of occasions. And then you'll have that beautiful rose tone dial to match the case and the bracelet and everything like that. This watch will have a 48-hour power reserve. One of the biggest differences between this and the Day-Date 40, which has the 70 or 72-hour power reserve. But even with wearing this watch every day, 48 hours is more than enough. You'll still have your parachrome hairspring and everything inside of this watch that helps it to stand above some of the other timepieces out there. So a great example of a concentric dial, Day-Date II. That's what I think of when I think of Rolex, is the President Day-Date. And then last, but certainly not least, is this gorgeous Calibre de Cartier. And the reason I love this one, besides the fact that it also has the concentric rings around the numeric portion of the dial, I love the way that they've done this. The case itself is in stainless steel, and it is a chronograph, so you'll have some pushers. But if you take a close look, not only do you have the satin case, but even the pushers are kind of housed in their own portion of the dial. If you look, it's a piece that actually was added in and then they placed the pushers there. Signature blue cabochon there on the crown. And another reason why I really love this is if you take a close look, the top portion of the dial, so everything before or after 9 and before 3 is going to be in Roman numerals. And then they decided to put the indices, the stick markers, down at the bottom. So it gives a little unique detail to the watch. I love the date aperture here where you could see the day before and the day after in addition to the current day. I love those type of date windows. And then the 2 sub dials that will give you your seconds and your hours. And then of course, beautiful sword hands. Just the way that they've done this dial, it almost looks as though it has 2 sub dials and a smile at the bottom. So of course, when you wear this, you're going to smile when you look at it. So beautiful timepiece, not too weighty, so very comfortable. You will have the deployant clasp on the back and just a great configuration. And just to take it one more level, of course, they did do the exhibition case back and a Cartier in-house movement. It's the 1904 caliber. And then I just think this is a great watch for a gift for a gentleman. Father's Day will be coming up soon. And this is the perfect watch for a wife that wants to look as though she knows about watches. This is a beautiful gift for that reason. So 3 great concentric dials here at Swiss Watch Expo, all in stock and ready to ship today. Give us a call here in the showroom if you'd like to take a closer look, maybe via FaceTime. Let us know some of your favorites down in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.